So these are the tools for the job for putting in the metal standpipe for a gas or diesel heater. Today I'm going to be doing it in a Ram Promaster van, so gas. So I've got the standpipe. This is the fuel sender fuel pump removal tool. It's a 1/2-inch drive. I've also got a big 1/2-inch drive breaker bar here for spinning this. Not recommended, but I might use the impact just slightly to kind of jar it and kind of break the suction loose without breaking the plastic ring. I've got a new gasket for that ring when it goes back together. And then very important is these fuel aux port or fuel port removal tool. Clip is broken right here, but you would turn that and then use like a coin or a nickel to turn that. And then this piece will just come up right out. And then we have this panel, which is down by 3 Phillips screws. So you're also going to need a Phillips screwdriver, but I'll get those out next. I might actually clean up this area before I clean up the other area. Just want to keep any debris out of there that could end up in the fuel tank or the fuel sender unit. So it's a good idea to kind of vacuum and wipe up everything that best you can before kind of digging in. So I've got the cover off now, and you can see access. We got the top ring that we'll be using the removal tool on. But yeah, I've got a lot of cleaning up to do to make sure none of this debris makes it down in there. So I'll do that first. I'll put on some gloves and we'll show you once it's clean and go on to the next step. Got it cleaned up here. Like a vacuum and a little more detail would probably be a little better, but I'll be really careful not to get stuff in there and maybe do a little more cleaning as I go. So next steps are going to be removing all these fuel lines. So this is the aux port running to my other heater. I'm going to be installing another port right somewhere in here, actually. The best place I'll determine for another heater that's going to be in the back of the van. And then this is obviously power, and then you've got fuel pickup and fuel return. All right, got them all off. You can see I got a lot of dirt here. I don't like that at all, but it is what it is. This red tab that goes on this one, you just pull this tab out, and then you got to push the sides in and pull it up. This plug right here has a little yellow tab that you got to flick up and then push the tab in and pull out. And then this right here has 2 green tabs. I just used those pliers and pinched them in, and it came right off. And then this has like a big white plug that I was able to pinch the top in, and I think there might have been one on the bottom, and I kind of just pulled right off. So they're all pretty easy to get off there. So now it's getting into undoing that lock ring. All right, so you can see I've got the lock ring tool on there and a big breaker bar to give me plenty of leverage to just spin that thing lefty-loosey. So all right, so it popped loose. It was not like a screw off. It was like a pop, boom, and it went, it freed up. So just know it's gonna take a lot of force, and it's gonna pop free when it does go off there. So yeah, we'll keep going. At this point, I had my hands full. I was holding the pump out while using a drill with a 1/4-inch drill bit to drill the hole out, which is the perfect size for the standpipe that I used. Once I got that hole drilled, I was able to kind of stick it through and measure where to cut the standpipe. Cut it to length just shorter than the length of the whole fuel pump assembly, and just fed it through. And then I put the washer and the o-ring and the nut on in the correct order and tightened those up just nice and snug, and then just dropped it right down where it was and picked up with putting the ring back on. I did my metal standpipe just kind of right outside the white sender unit, out of the way of everything, and that part is actually pretty straightforward. So I'm sorry I didn't film more of it, but that's exactly what it looks like in that photo there, just in a slightly different position. So we're all done here. We got the standpipe in. You can see it right there. You can see everything else is hooked up. You can see the lock ring is fully lined up. That is really, really hard to get extremely tight. I had to lean against my sliding door and use a breaker bar to use my legs to push it into place. So it's a metal lock ring. It's tough, but yeah, you're gonna need a lot of force to get that off. So yep, all set. Got that standpipe there, and it will just run a fuel line right to the back to my second heater. And then this is my line to my smaller heater that's under my seat. So pretty cool overall, pretty easy job. Definitely want a low fuel level, definitely want a breaker bar, definitely want the lock ring tool. But otherwise, pretty straightforward job. I just finished that install on the standpipe, and it was definitely not that bad. Make sure you get the standpipe in the same position I put it in. I found that was the best. Also, yeah, you're gonna need a lot of torque in that special tool for that lock ring for sure. I definitely got some debris down in mine. I did not clean my tank or my ring as well as I should have. Yeah, I hope that was helpful. I couldn't find any other videos on installing a standpipe in a Promaster. The second half of the video is going to be obviously running that fuel line to a second gasoline heater in my van for high elevation use in the mountains. So a bigger gasoline heater for high elevation is the whole purpose of that. So yeah, that's it. A few little tools in there, screwdrivers, and you know, you need a 10mm for the little nut on the bottom of the standpipe, and a few other little things. But if you can't figure that out, then maybe you might need to get some help with this. But good luck, I hope it helps.